What is up, Bandit family? Welcome back to another exciting episode where we show you how to turn trash into cash. Boy, do we have some exciting stuff for you guys today. Alright, Bandit family, let's jump right in. If you're new to the channel and want to learn how to make extra cash, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on our videos. Alright, so what we have here first is actually a collection of Gambit comic books. So these comic books are in really nice condition. So I would say most of them are in near mint condition, if not mint condition. Obviously, I'm not a professional grader. So all I can say is that this Gambit collection is actually really cool because it has variant covers, meaning that there's special designs and only a few are produced or printed when they are first released. So it's not in order. It doesn't go 1 through 10. It is a Marvel character. He is a Marvel character, I'm sorry. Gambit, he is part of the X-Men universe. And his abilities are he's able to manipulate basically what you consider or what you call kinetic energy. So he uses playing cards, so poker cards, to basically take down the villains. So right here I'm showing you the edges just because it's necessary when you first list items like comic books to be able to put as accurate a description as possible. Alright, the next thing we're going to go over is this huge lot of posters. We couldn't show one of the posters. It's super rare. We were scared that eBay or actually YouTube was going to shut us down. So if you want to see the item, go ahead and check it out at on our eBay site at the Swapmeet Bandit.
Okay, this Flashpoint poster is actually got, it was one of the early kind of horror knockoff movies. It's kind of tough to find because it was put out by a small company named Thorn EMI, and so it's just difficult to find. This is a 1976 poster by an artist named Trappenhuis. It was actually published in Holland and tough to find. It's a takeoff on the MC Escher idea, of course. And it's a reprint, I believe, actually from like the 1950s, but this one came out in the 1970s. It's folded and rolled, but still should bring some money because it's a tough piece. The Simpsons posters we have here, these are early Simpsons posters. Early, I mean like 1990s, and they're pretty funky because they're oversized. I'm not sure if they were released for like they're 1999 actually, but I don't know exactly why. They're kind of artist takeoffs. You've got the real funky looking Homer and Bart, and they're sizable, and there's a lot of Simpsons collectors out there. So I especially think the ones with the faces like all over the place is going to do really well because it's a tough piece. This Atari super early computers, personal computers, 400, 800. There's a couple of different Atari books that we have here, and all three of the Atari books kind of go in the early computer gaming era, 1970s, 1980s, right on the brink right there. And they tend to bring some good money because there's a lot of people that collect early computer stuff and early computer gaming stuff. And before Nintendo and Xbox and all of them, of course, Atari started it all. With the best games at that point in time in the 1970s, early 80s. This is just one of those manuals that you would have gotten, I believe, with your computer when you bought your PC. And I think your personal computer would have cost you about, I don't know, $2,000 back then, which is a ton of money considering it had such little power compared to nowadays computers. But it's a very cool piece to find in its original binder. So we should do well with it. Okay, we have a couple of computer programming books on the basic language, which was one of the first computer languages that people would learn in early 1980s. When you got your own personal computer, you would make some sort of program like how to record an address for an address book, or how to put down phone numbers into a list, a database. And anyhow, these are some of the books that would teach you how to actually do that with the language basic. And they went for the early Atari computers. We're talking about 1981 to 1983, that kind of vintage. These older books kind of go that direction, and it led to the beginnings of the Atari games, which were to follow. So they actually have a collectible market out there. This is an actual ticket to go to the Super Bowl from 2007, of course. Uh, Early Peyton Manning stuff. That's, you can see the front side is just the pouch that it goes in, and then the back side is the actual ticket. A lot of Super Bowl tickets, once they get graded, you can get anywhere from $500 to $1,000, and they grade them according to condition. This one's in really nice shape with its original lanyard from somebody who went to the game, so we'll see what it brings. I'm not sure what this patch goes to. I think it's like 1960s, 70s, and I think it goes to people who are into model airplanes or things that were into, that kind of thing. And it's just a funky piece, and I think we'll do okay with it. This is kind of weird. We just happened upon this, and it was kind of something out of our usual realm, but it's some Intex goggles for going underwater, like snorkeling and whatnot, and it just happened to be in perfect condition. And I know these can actually be pretty tough to find for a lot of scuba divers and snorkelers. They actually pay a lot of money for these things, and since this one was brand new, we picked it up. So we'll see how we do on this. This is a Peanuts Snoopy Cookie Jar that was actually put out in the 1980s, maybe early 90s. And this one's in its original box, and I think it was a giveaway at some place, actually. If you look at it, like some sort of like cleaning service actually gave them away. Anyhow, this one right here, it'll have the copyrights from all the Peanuts stuff, like it usually does from the 1950s. But that doesn't mean it is from the 1950s. They just sort of put that on all the Snoopy stuff and all the Peanut stuff. So most likely this is going to be like late 80s, early 90s. The fact that it's in its original box and it is Snoopy, there's a lot of collectors for it, and people a lot love the cookie jars. Cookie jars tend to do really well. People like to line them up in their houses, and anyhow, it's a nice Beagle cookie jar. So I think we'll do really well with it. No chips on it. This is a 1960s key fob that would have gone for a hotel on Old Route 66 in the area of Arizona. So if you were to stay at that hotel, they would have given you this key at night, and then you would have turned it in the next morning. And a lot of people collect the old stuff like this one. It's tough to find stuff that's related to Route 66. It's good Americana. People like to display it in their houses, and I think we'll do okay with it. This is a Magic the Gathering gift set. This came out maybe 1996, 1997. Magic the Gathering, or their original cards, there was the first set, and they call it Alpha. The second set they call Beta. And then they come out with a third one. It's sort of what they call a revised, well, they come out with what they call Unlimited, which is their third one. And then this was like their fourth one called Revised. It's great that it's all inside the package, and the cards that are in there are actually still sealed. So with that in mind, there could be some great cards in there. A lot of people like to gamble as to what might have been in there. And those two sealed decks really make it a unique item. And some people have gotten up to $1,000 for these sets when they are sealed. So we'll see how we do with this one. I think it could do quite well.
All right, so we're hoping to get at least $1,500 off of this. We won't know for sure, but I mean, we only paid $60 for it. So even if we get 500, we're still making over 5 times our initial investment. Again, we had the Snoopy, the Gambit, Magic, the goggles, the posters, the Atari stuff. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications. El Bandito signing out.